What's going on, everyone? Daniel here, and welcome to my The Strain Season 4, Episode 2 spoiler review / analysis breakdown. I want to kind of go more in depth into the episode and tell you a little bit more of things, stuff I would have done and other things like that, really, where we can kind of talk as a community down in the comments and debate whether, this should have happened or that should have happened, or why didn't they show Fett or Quinlan, or why didn't they show where Satrakian was, and really stuff that I want to talk about more than I could have or wanted to in the regular review. So if you guys want to check out the review for this episode, which is titled The Blood Tax, it will be at the end of the video. The last 20 seconds should be on the screen there. Thank you guys again for joining me. I'm going to try to make this as quick as I can, though, and give you my all thoughts on it, and just kind of more talk about it in a sense than in a review. You're trying to you do the recap and then the pros and cons, what you like and what you don't like, but here we can talk about scene to scene and the feelings I had and of such with different things, because there was an emotional scene that I was getting, and that was more when Dutch and Satrakian were separated, because I was tearing up there at that point, and I was getting a little scared, just because Satrakian's getting pushed to the ground, he's getting the taser on him, he's being dragged away. Our heroes have lost, and if you got to think that our heroes have lost the battle, they've lost it all. And they need, you know what I'm saying? Like, this whole 3 seasons of us trying to defeat the Master, it hasn't really worked out now, hasn't it? So it's a lot to handle. Let's go ahead and, we start off with Raul, who is Gus's cousin. And now, at first, and I said this in my review, I thought that this was like the new Gus. I'm like, they recasted Gus. Well, that's new. I kind of like the other guy that played Gus, but oh well, because he literally looked like Gus, so no wonder. I thought it was like his brother or something. It's his cousin. So we end up seeing him everyday life going, and he works at the vitamin bar facility for the partnership, and his life looks totally boring. I mean, he looks like he wants to put a bullet in his head and say goodnight. His life looks boring. He's living with a bunch of guys. There are a bunch of wankers, and he basically is he looks like he hates life, and he works, and one of his friends named Eddie is a guard there at the factory, which he comes into the episode later. So I thought it was really good. It was a really awesome opening in a sense where I was enjoying it, and I liked, okay, who is this character? What does he mean? I thought somehow he would be linked to Gus. I like, because we're seeing now from his point of view, how his life is, and going into the factory, and even, it made me cringe, and not like cringe like, so much cringe, but it made me really tense up in a way, seeing all the blood packets and all that stuff, and give blood, and I'm like, no freaking way, man, I don't even give blood now, and it's, awesome people who give blood and stuff, but I'm a fucking pussy for needles. I don't do needles. And then you're saying, well, man, you have a tattoo and you have all this stuff, and then how you do needles? I don't know. I don't like a needle like going into my vein. You know what I'm saying? I'm going too far into this, but with the strain, don't give blood in that world, because the Strigoi are just slurping it all up, and that is disgusting and it's creepy. So they got me already tensing up the first 3 minutes of the episode. So I thought it was a really awesome opening. It was kind of weird the way Gus, I thought, like, holy shit, somebody's going to kill him because he's stealing the bars. That's literally what I thought when I saw it. Raul had a bunch of bars, vitamin bars, and then all of a sudden, it's like something out of like a Pornhub thing. I mean, I literally thought the guy was going to get fucking raped or something. It's like, holy shit. And it's just Gus, and he's like, I'm just playing with you, man. I'm just playing with you. It's just like, my fucking bars, man. You know how much money that fucking cost, dude? They came out of my paycheck, Holmes. Yeah, it's just because we're, you know how Gus is, man. So, orale, it's Holmes. Oh, gosh. It's cool. I'm Hispanic. I could say that. So that ends up happening there, and he ends up saying, "Hey, get me into the factory. I'm here to help you." And then he pulls the old dad trick. What did your dad used to say? Blah blah blah. Man takes care of his family. It's like, dude, you're not my immediate family. You're just my cousin. So fuck off. That would be my reaction there. But he did that old trick. Hey man, do you want to go to the movies with me? No, I'm not really in the mood. I'm okay. I'm gonna beg my girlfriend later in the night. But what did Dad always say? You know what I'm saying? Just like, it's just, no, who cares? But no, I like the whole setup there. And then Gus, he has hair finally, so it's like, okay, Gus has a plan, and he obviously has a group, and he finally has a purpose, especially with the next scene where we see him with Satrakian. Because Satrakian gets his pills from Gus, and then all of a sudden, he's met Satrakian before, but I'm saying he finally has a purpose. Out of the whole series, I finally know why he's in the show. And I thought he was in the same resistance group that the Ephraim and the girl. Maybe they're in the same group. Maybe they're not. They're probably not. One would assume that there's a lot of resistance groups in this world. But it was interesting to see Gus and Satrakian kind of bounce off each other, and it seems like Satrakian has respect for Gus, and Gus has a lot of respect for Satrakian, so that's really cool to see there. And Dutch, the beautiful Dutch, man, she's right next to Satrakian. I don't know, man, Satrakian's a pimp. He's a pimp. Having Dutches as a little wag dog, I mean, it's really cool. I enjoy that. I'm playing with you. I didn't want to say bitch, so I said dog, because I thought bitch was too offensive. We're going to get away from that subject now. So Dutch, who is a total badass, I kind of compared her in The Walking Dead. She's like Jesus. Not like Jesus Christ, but she's like Jesus from The Walking Dead, except without a goatee and that long hair that Jesus has. Man, she really kicks ass in this episode. I love the whole stunt there where she goes into the burning building and she's walking, and then the Strigoi comes out of the room and there's smoke everywhere and you could barely see his face. And the way, I mean, she could have easily got killed or tripped over something. She ended up getting him like right there in the throat or something. So honestly, that was really cool there. She stabbed him here or something. So I didn't like the rooftop scene that much. I thought it was cheesy with the jumps, and there were a few editing things that I wasn't a huge fan of there. That's kind of where I was like, okay, like, eh. And then she ended up getting captured, and then seeing them all get captured, and Satrakian's on there, and they kind of get brought to this almost concentration camp. And that's what Satrakian said, that he's seen this before a long time ago. And it kind of, again, I was thinking, okay, like, this is intense now. Even humans are working with the Strigoi and everything, and they're just beating up these people. There's this little Strigoi where she's like, and she's like, you know, like she's like all crazy, and she's like wagging her arms, and like the girls get taken away and stuff. Like, it was very weird how she did it, because she was like, and then like it's like fertile, get her away, you know, like she could have a baby, you know. Because basically Dutch gets taken to this facility. They're a breeding facility, so basically in a breeding facility, a man who loves another woman, consent, ends up sticking his Johnson into her Arby's meat sandwich, and they rub together, and then he ends up adding the sauce into the Arby's sandwich, and basically, you know, a disease ends up coming out of them, which is a baby. So, yeah, I'm just not really a disease, but I just like calling kids diseases, because you can never get rid of them unless you kill it. You killed the disease. So anyway, with that, yeah, she's in a breeding facility, but I don't think our Dutch has been touched as of yet, because she would probably snap off their penis. Literally, not even cut off. She would be like, you know, like, you like a Kit Kat? She'd like, anyway. Yeah, I don't know where I'm getting with this, man. Honestly, I'm very tired. So, But we're getting into the conversation here. Oh, Dutch ends up saving the lumen, which I'm assuming either the lumen will still be on the rooftop in the vent, or else it won't be there. I have no idea. We don't know where Satrakian is. They haven't showed us. In the preview, he was like in the preview last week. He was in the hospital bed, so I guess we'll end up seeing what happens there with Satrakian. Now, anyway, they're separated, and of course, she plans on breaking out, and she has one of the guys from the partnership who ends up taking like a bunch of the stuff from the hospital in his truck. She's like, you know, I slept with you, blah, blah, blah. I gave you the greatest BJ of your entire life, you know, because I'm from across the pond and all that shit. Why don't you let me out, you know, like, take me with you sort of thing. And if I was that guy, I would be like, you know what, Dutch, I'm taking you tonight. Like, I'm looking for a good time tonight, Dutch. And I'm going to put you in the back of the van, and we're going to drive all the way across the bridge. And you'll get to live with me, Dutch. Like, 'cause I live in a van down by the river. You know, something like that. I don't know. I think the guy was such a fucking wuss, honestly. I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, you had sex with her? Like, fucking take her. Fuck your job. Fuck the job, dude. I don't care. Even if you have, like, a wife, I don't fuck the job, dude. Go with Dutch. Honestly, that's what I was thinking, and that's when I'm, like, pissed off at the guy. I'm like, dude, stop being a pussy. This girl, did she tell him how badass she is? Like, you're protected. Literally, she's like the condom over you. You're protected, dude. Go with her. Take her out of the thing, and then just say, like, fuck the job. And I think she was saying, like, oh, they're not going to suspect you because you're loyal. But no, he's the one who fucked everything up. And then that Jane Lynch, Glee, dyke-looking ass came inside, and she was like, well, what's going on here? You know, and she's like, well, what's going on here? And then the guy's like, I did not touch him. Ooh, you don't say that, dude. Like, that's like you have like a girl naked, and she's crying, and her nose is bleeding, and then a cop walks in, and you're like, I didn't touch her. Like, don't just fucking shut up. Don't say anything. Do not say it. You say, I want a lawyer. I want a lawyer, and you know what? Fuck it. Don't even say that. Just say, I want to speak to my lawyer, and then zip your mouth. Don't say I did not touch it. Why would you say that? You're really dumb. Gosh, don't say that. That's like a teacher, and then the principal walks in, and you're in a kindergarten class with a bunch of little girls, and you're like, I did not touch her. Just don't say anything. Fuck. It's not that hard, man. Honestly, it's not. So, I don't know what's gonna happen to that guy. He's gonna get his little Jimmy. He's gonna get his little Zach taken care of. At that point, I was thinking to myself, yep. Fuck this storyline in a sense. Like, come on, Dutch. Oh, she's gonna get in trouble again? Really? She's gonna end up talking to the guy with the cane. Why were you trying to escape? Blah, 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 blah. You know, like, it's honestly like, this is like, if the girl said she was bleeding, and I would literally look into the girl's eye and I would say, oh, honey. Oh, sweetie. I'm trying to think of the phrase. It's a dog-eat-dog world. And inside this facility, you're better here than out there. So I'm going to go with Dutch. And you just stay here, and I'll come back for you, like, in a few weeks. Maybe. Possibly. If me and Dutch are getting married somewhere in Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? Like, say something like that at least. Like, oh, you're bleeding? Well, tough luck, right? Everyone bleeds, so fuck it. Bye. You know what I'm like? Oh, and Dutch finally has a heart all of a sudden. She has a heart, and she's like, I'm not going to leave you here, mate. I'm not going to leave you. And it's like, no, fuck it. Like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Oh, go. I'll end up leaving next week. And then the guy's like, I'm not going to come back next week and take you. The girl had to get out of the thing and say, I can't do this. It's basically her fault. So Dutch, leave her ass next time. She compromised it. She compromised all of it. Fuck her. That baby was like, fuck her. He said, I'm out of here, man. I'm fucking done. I don't even like this person. Alright. Okay. So Ephraim's helping out that black guy. He has shrapnel in his leg. He's ended up helping him out and everything, and he wants his food and supplies. There really wasn't much Ephraim this episode, in a sense. He ends up getting some food and supplies, but all of a sudden a guy walks in and he's like, "Ma'am, me and little Jimmy, we got attacked. We were attacked, and he got drained. He didn't make it out alive, ma'am." And then all of a sudden, the leader in Ephraim comes out, and this is the part I like so much more than Ephraim last week, is he looks at them and he's like, if he was drained, they know where you are. And then she's like, shit, then we have to leave. We have other places we can hide. Did he know about it? Fuck, it's like, it's getting real, dude. And the way Ephraim totally... I thought it was kind of a cheap way when he blew up that place, because it was like, wow, you set up all... How much time did you have? They really didn't specify, but it's a TV show. I don't think it really matters. But how much time did you have to set up the bombs and all that? Anyway, he ends up shooting the Strigoi on fire, which I thought was a really cool stunt there. Especially the stunt where Gus grabs the thing and throws him. I thought that was something like the Punisher would do. But the way that he says, no, we can't leave yet, and then after he shoots the two Strigoi, he's like, now we can leave. I thought that was cool there. And then the idea of them poisoning the blood, I like that idea. And that's something like, why don't you just do that? You should probably do that. That's pretty smart. I like that. You know what they should have done, honestly? I'm thinking about it right now. You know the Master, how, like, when he's out of the body, he's a worm? Like, he's a fucking worm? Like, he's a worm. Put him inside a tequila bottle and, like, drink the worm. Man. Fucking bald ass, bitch ass, ear elf looking ass. Fucking buck tooth. Oh, it's time to take your weight. Fucking dumbass. You know what I'm saying? Like, god damn, get a wig or something. You look horrible. Jesus Christ, you're not gonna make it on Vogue magazine. I think that's really, when in retrospective, what happened this episode? Ephraim joins the Resistance, or is going to help the Resistance, and they're going to poison the blood. That's Ephraim. Out of the way. Gus talks to his cousin, Raul. Gets him fired from work. That's the story there. Dutch is in a breeding facility. She doesn't escape. She tries to. She doesn't. She fails. There's the episode. That's it. Still a lot way better than last week's episode when, oh, we're looking for missiles. Oh, you work at a missile place and the military base is like down the street? Oh, it's great. Oh, yeah. Lazy writing. Lazy at its finest, honestly. At least with this episode, there was awesome action and Gus and where he's at. Satrakian. All the scenes that Satrakian was in, it was really cool. So, I kind of really gave my thoughts and my feelings on this episode. I thought it was a good episode. And I'm going to run down the pros real quick again. Satrakian, the ending, the opening, Strigoi on fire, that stunt there. Gus, I like Gus a lot in this episode. He's a more better leader right now. The whole partnership stuff, the breeding facility, the ideas, the blood, the giving the blood, the intensity of that, the cringiness of that. No Zach in this episode. No Zach. No Zach. He went down to Pee Pee Pants City. Negan visited him. He just gave him a whack. And that was it. Zach is over. What is it? Zed, yeah, something like that in Pulp Fiction where it's like, oh, this is Zed's bike. And she's like, who's Zed? Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. Pulp Fiction reference, because everyone's supposed to know what fucking Pulp Fiction is. You know what a Royale with cheese is? Oh, man. I fucking love it. I love it so much. And also Ephraim giving the idea of poisoning the blood, yada, yada, yada. The cons. Dutch's story was a little bit slower, like the guy with the cane, and he was like, I don't like this new world, but it's just the world we live in. It's like, boy, if you don't like it, then fuck it. If you don't like it, then fuck it. It's like Tommy Wiseau should just be playing that role. Dutch, you shouldn't run away like that. You could have gotten hurt. Why are you doing this, Dutch? You're tearing me apart. He could have totally just played that. I was trying to escape. I would like to escape too. Anyway, how's your sex life? Something like that. Oh, hi, Dutch. Trying to escape? Oh, I don't know. Some fucking Tommy Wiseau should play the part. Where is Satrakian? They never say. Some of the editing, the jumping the rooftop shit, I could have done without that, honestly. It could have been even done better if they would have done it better. I wasn't a fan of it. Maybe you were a fan of it. I don't know. As well, the Strigoi. No, that's not right. The Strigoi thing was actually a cool thing. And also, the guard. I'm gonna tell on you. Should have put a cap in his ass. That's what you should have done. Oh, I'm gonna tell on you. You know what, Eddie? Why don't you just put the gun down? Why don't we talk about it, man? Mano y mano. And then he's like, geez, Rick. I'm gonna tell on you. Rick, where are you? And just like, oh, Rick, I don't know where you are. It's okay, Morty. Just the pickle, lift the pickle. And then lifting the pickle or turning the pickle around. It's like, oh, I'm Pickle Morty. I'm Pickle Rick. Fucking good times, man. That's it. That's kind of it. I talked about the strain. I did my breakdown analysis. I hope next week, it's better than last week's episode, but it's not to the great point. It's just a good episode. It could have been better. Has a few problems to it, but it also has a few entertaining things as well, I guess. So, how's your sex life? Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to smack that like button, comment down below, and share with your friends. Until next time, bye bye.